9 people with the strangest lives you won't believe exist. What if you were born a regular human, but decided to live underwater like a fish? Or how about a man who's been holding his arm up for 48 years straight, all to serve his god? And then there's the stingiest person on the planet, earning millions every year but still digging through trash for food. Guys, let's face it, there are people out there with habits and lifestyles so weird you've probably never seen anything like it. Some spend their whole lives acting like animals, some haven't slept in 60 years, and others, well, they just refuse to work and spend all day sprawled out on the couch. Today on KINH LUP TV, we'll show you how unbelievably strange these lives are and explain why they're like this. Ready? Let's jump in. 1. The woman who soaked in water for 20 years. Hearing that title, you're probably picturing a mermaid, right? Living under the sea, vibing with fish, and looking magical. But hold up. How does a human survive underwater? Well, this crazy story is 100% real, and it happened in India. Meet Pataruni Ghosh, nicknamed the Mermaid Woman, but not because she's insanely beautiful or a pro swimmer. Nope, it's because this woman has a rare condition that's forced her to soak in water for 20 years straight.
Oh, no!
Here's what happened. When she was younger, Pataruni got hit with a disease that caused constant inflammation and pain all over her body. Her family didn't have money for treatment, so since 1998, every single morning, she's been walking to a nearby pond and soaking in the water for 12 to 14 hours a day, just to ease the pain. Her family says they're super worried about her health, but can't really help. So, they visit her by the pond every day to keep her company. Some even joke that when she dies, her soul will be tied to that pond, considering how much of her life she's spent in it. I mean, wow. Just think about it. Most of us can't handle being in the water for more than 5 minutes before we get bored or prune up. But this lady? She's been soaking for 20 years. That's on a whole other level. So, what's life like for someone living this way? Let's dive in and find out. The most frugal person in the world. All right, be honest. How much have you saved up in your piggy bank so far? Or are you one of those people who spend every penny your parents give you as soon as you get it? Let me know in the comments below. Don't be shy. Guys, we've all heard about people living super frugally, saving every dime, skipping luxuries, and ending up with fancy cars or big houses after just a few years. Saving money? Great! But saving to the point of extreme penny pinching? That's a whole different story. Enter Kate Hashimoto, a Japanese woman living in New York City who's turned frugality into her lifestyle. Kate works at a top-tier accounting firm and makes about $119,000 a year. It's the kind of salary most Americans can only dream of. But as they say, rich people think differently. The average New Yorker spends $2,000 to $2,500 a month just to cover basic living expenses. And Kate? Well, brace yourself. Kate's been dumpster diving for leftover food, hasn't bought toothpaste or toilet paper in 8 years, and hasn't replaced her underwear in 14 years. Yup, you heard that right. Shirts? She's been wearing some for over 10 years. Her pants? Elastics all stretched out, but she just clips them together and keeps going. And new clothes? Forget about it. It's been a decade since she bought any. That's why she's living on just $200 a month. Her logic? If I don't absolutely need it, I don't spend money on it. And if I have to spend, I figure out how to spend as little as possible. She even cuts her own hair, stocks up on free toothpaste and detergent samples, and uses her bathwater to flush the toilet. Gas stove? Nope. She only uses electric appliances to save more money. But here's the kicker. Kate often visits upscale neighborhoods to dig through trash bins for leftover food. And eating out? Only if someone else is paying. Saving is important, sure. But living like this? Is it genius or just too much? What's your take on Kate's lifestyle? Let me know in the comments below. Coming up next, people with the weirdest eating habits in the world. Don't miss it. The wildest eating habits ever. Hey friends, If you think eating boogers is disgusting, wait till you hear this list. It's going to make you rethink everything. First up, meet Casey from Tennessee. Believe it or not, she eats her late husband's ashes. Yup, you heard me right. She misses him so much that she carries his urn everywhere and sometimes dips her finger in to have a taste. Love makes people do crazy things, but this is something else. Next, we have Bertha, who's hooked on nail polish. She downs 5 bottles a day because she loves the taste. Even though doctors warned her that her liver is severely damaged, she doesn't care. She's like, 1 more bottle won't hurt, right? Then there's Jennifer, who eats foam cushions like it's a bag of chips. She's eaten so much that her doctors flat out told her, keep this up and you're gonna die. Foam is toxic, y'all. Don't even think about trying it. But hold on, it gets even creepier. Michelle from California drinks animal blood. Sometimes she even drinks her own. Yeah, it's as horrifying as it sounds. Who needs vampires when Michelle's around? And if that wasn't enough, some people out there eat dirt, soap, gasoline, cat hair, and even solid metal. Doctors say these habits are caused by pica syndrome, a condition that makes people crave things no sane person would ever eat. People who love living like animals. Kaz James. He's a 40-something guy who spends his days working a normal job. But once he's home, he turns into a dog. No joke. He wears dog outfits, eats like a dog, and even barks at strangers. Kaz says he's felt like a dog since he was a kid. It wasn't until he got older that he finally had the guts to fully live as one. That said, he swears he's never bitten anyone. Thank goodness. And even has other people who dress up as dogs to hang out with him. I mean, wow. Being human is amazing, but this guy's living his best dog life. But wait, here's a story that'll really blow your mind. Meet Werner Freund from Saarland, Germany. This man spent 40 years of his life living as the leader of a wolf pack. Yep, you heard that right. 4 decades. Why? No clue. At first, the wolves wanted nothing to do with him, but Werner stuck it out, and eventually, they accepted him as their alpha wolf. He didn't just play pretend either. Every day, he fed them raw meat, and to get this, he had to take the first bite with his teeth before tossing it to the wolves. Apparently, that's what alpha wolves do. I don't know about you, but something about that feels off. Crazy, right? But the weirdest story yet? It's coming straight out of India. Stick around, because you're not ready for this one. Holding his hand up for 48 years to serve the gods. In India, Amma Bharati is super famous for one bizarre reason. He's been holding his right arm up in the air since 1973 and hasn't put it down for 50 years. This is his way of worshipping Lord Shiva and protesting war. It all started in 1970. Back then, Amma Bharati worked at a bank, living a simple life with his wife and 3 kids. But one day, something clicked. He felt a strong spiritual calling, so he left everything, his family, job, and friends, to follow the path of faith. He dedicated his life to Shiva, the Hindu god of creation, destruction, and new beginnings. And in 1973, he took things to the next level. He decided to raise his right arm and never lower it again. This was his way of showing devotion to Shiva and standing against war in support of world peace. At first, the pain was unbearable. Seriously, imagine the cramps. But his willpower won. After 2 years, his arm went numb and the pain faded. Now his arm is severely withered, and if he lowers it, he could permanently damage his nerves. So, at this point, keeping it raised isn't just about faith. It's also about protecting his health. Pretty wild, huh? But don't go anywhere. Next up, we're diving into the colorful world of unique passions. Color fanatics. Meet the people obsessed with their favorite shades. Hey, quick question. What's your favorite color? For me, it's got to be blue. Love it. If there were a contest for the world's biggest green fanatic, heck, the whole solar system, she'd probably win. Well, unless she's up against Elizabeth's sweetheart. Elizabeth, a 75-year-old from New York, is so obsessed with green that people call her the Green Lady. She's turned herself into a walking, talking piece of nature. And how about pink lovers? Any out there? Well, Kitten K. Sarah might just put you to shame. She's a 53-year-old singer and actress from Texas, and people call her Hollywood's Pink Lady. She's obsessed with pink, like seriously obsessed. Clothes, pink. Furniture, pink. Hair, you guessed it, pink. She even calls herself a pink addict, and honestly, she's not wrong. Then there's Ella London, aka the Sunshine Girl. Ella, who's from Los Angeles, has spent the last 5 years living her life completely in yellow. Everything she owns is yellow, from her outfits to her home. She says it's her happy color, and honestly, you can't help but smile when you see her. But not all color obsessions are sunshine and rainbows. Take Vanessa Allen, for example. She's so in love with purple that it actually got her into trouble. Vanessa was just your average employee, making less than $400 a week. But to fuel her passion, she went all out and signed up for 6 credit cards online, just so she could turn everything around her purple. Yep, she kept buying and buying without realizing her credit card debt had skyrocketed to a jaw-dropping $49,000. Yikes. Goes to show, too much of anything is never a good idea, folks. So maybe take this as a friendly nudge to remind your shopaholic bestie to rein it in before they end up buried under a mountain of debt, like some of these other folks we're about to talk about. Life of the unemployed and social recluses. Hey friends! Japan has always been known as a powerful, wealthy nation, thanks to its hardworking, smart and resilient people. I mean, even after getting hit by 2 atomic bombs in the past, they still rebuilt everything from scratch and earned the world's respect. Pretty amazing, right? But here's the thing. Today, while most of Japan is hustling hard, there's a growing group of young people who just don't. They don't go to school, don't work, and barely leave their tiny rooms. They avoid social contact entirely and live off their parents. This lifestyle is called hikikomori, and according to stats, there are about 10 million hikikomori in Japan who are technically of working age. But instead of working, they choose to stay home, eat instant noodles, play games, watch movies, scroll endlessly online, and sleep. They're not interested in dating, marriage, or even having kids. This is a huge issue for Japan, a country with the oldest population in the world. Think about it. What happens when most young people refuse to work, get married, or have kids? No wonder the government is desperate to get hikikomori out of their rooms. Now let's look at China, where things are the total opposite. Over there, they have what's called the 966 culture, working from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., 6 days a week. Brutal, right? And despite all those insane hours, many workers say they still can't afford a house or a car. So, they've started pushing back with a movement called tangping, or lying flat. These people live on just about $8 a month, eat instant noodles, and spend most of their time doing, well, nothing. Literally just lying down all day, ignoring everything else. But tangping isn't exactly good news for China either. If this trend continues, it could hurt the economy, drop birth rates, and slow down the country's growth. Here are 2 super toxic trends among young people that we absolutely should not follow. And up next, let's dive into the fascinating lives of real-life mutants. The man who didn't shower or wash his hair for decades. Huh? Just hearing about this guy kinda makes you wanna pinch your nose, right? But according to him, life was totally fine. Meet Amu Haji, a man from southern Iran, who became world famous for not bathing for 67 years. That's right, no showers, no washing up, no brushing his teeth. The reason? After a heartbreaking love story in 1954, he swore off cleanliness forever. Over time, his body got covered in layers of dirt, grime, dead skin, and, well, let's just say his scent could knock you out. He spent his days smoking and scavenging through trash to survive. Then came October 2022. After much persuasion, he finally agreed to take a bath. But just days after his first scrub in decades, he passed away at 94 years old. People joked that maybe cleanliness just wasn't his thing. Even though he's gone, he'll forever hold the title of the world's dirtiest man. See? He was fine all along, but the moment he cleaned up, boom, gone. Anyway, stick around because we've got more wild stories coming up. Who's next on this list of jaw-dropping humans? Let's find out! People who haven't slept in decades. Have you ever heard of people who don't need sleep? Sounds impossible, right? But it's true. There are a few cases like this right here in Vietnam. First on the list is Mr. Thai Ngoc, born in 1942 in Quang Nam. After a fever back in 1975, he completely lost the ability to sleep. And guess what? He hasn't slept for over 60 years. A foreign TV station once offered him thousands of dollars just to film his daily life, but he refused. He also turned down an offer from a Thai film crew who wanted to fly him out for treatment and a documentary. To this day, his sleepless condition remains a total mystery. Next is Mr. Le Hung from Ben Tre. He hasn't slept in 25 years. At first, his family panicked. They tried everything, seeing spiritual healers, fortune tellers, and even using all kinds of medicines. Nothing worked. But surprisingly, he's completely healthy, so in the end, they just let it go. Then there's Miss Tran Thi Lu, a 36-year-old from Quang Ngai. She hasn't slept in 11 years. Doctors and scientists still have no explanation for why these people can go so long without sleeping. So, what's your take on these bizarre cases? Share your thoughts in the comments. Hey friends! Just now, we explored the lives of some truly strange people. Like, seriously, how do they even manage to live like that? Have you ever come across anyone like that in real life? If you have, don't forget to drop a comment and share your thoughts with me. I'd love to hear what you think. If you enjoyed this video, show KINH LUP TV some love with a like. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you'll always be the first to catch our newest and coolest videos every day. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye for now.